Welcome to the Morning English Podcast. Listen, learn, and speak English daily.
Have you ever felt really nervous when speaking English in the real world?
Oh, definitely. That happens sometimes to almost everyone.
Right. You study your vocabulary, you learn the grammar rules, and you feel totally ready, but then you step outside.
Yeah, exactly. You go to a cafe and a native speaker asks you a real personal question about your life.
And suddenly you don't know what to say. You feel shy. Your mind just goes completely blank.
It is so frustrating, right? You have the words in your head, but you just can't speak naturally.
Well, don't worry. You are definitely not alone in this. Welcome to our deep dive this morning.
It's such a beautiful, peaceful morning out here in the garden, isn't it?
It really is. The birds are softly chirping. The fresh sunlight is coming through the trees. And we have our coffee ready.
It is the perfect, relaxing atmosphere to just sit back and learn together.
Exactly. So today, we are going to look at some amazing sources that show us exactly how to stop freezing up.
Yes, we are going to learn a secret trick to make your English sound natural and super confident.
So let's transition into today's main topic. We are talking about your biggest life lessons.
Life lessons. So that sounds like a really big topic, right? But our sources say it is actually the best way to practice listening and speaking.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, this is not going to feel like a boring classroom lecture at all.
No, not at all. Think of this just like two friends talking in a garden. We are just exploring these interesting sources together.
And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more easy English lessons.
Yes, please do. We love having you here with us every morning.
So why do our sources say talking about life lessons is so helpful for learners?
Well, when you learn from a standard textbook, it's like running on a machine in a gym. It is safe, but you don't really go anywhere.
I like that comparison. But talking about a real life lesson is, well, it's like running outside in a beautiful wild forest.
Exactly. It is real life. You use real human emotions, which makes the English words stick in your memory so much better.
It makes total sense. It is just so much more meaningful than practicing how to order a sandwich over and over again.
Right, because you actually care about what you are saying.
So our sources break this down into a really simple, step-by-step, real-life simulation.
Oh, I love a good step-by-step guide. It makes everything so much easier to follow.
Right. Native speakers actually use a secret 5-part structure when they tell a story.
Wait, really? Most people probably don't even realize they are doing it.
Exactly. It's just a natural habit. And once you learn these 5 steps, you can tell any story in English confidently.
That is so helpful. So what is the very first step we need to know?
Step 1 is the introduction. You just tell the listener what the main lesson is right at the start.
Like saying, one of the biggest lessons I have learned is to not be afraid of mistakes.
Perfect. Yes. You just drop the main idea right there.
Okay, that sounds easy enough. What happens next?
Step 2 is the background story. You have to set the scene for the listener.
I see. So you give some context about who you used to be in the past?
Yeah, exactly. You could say, like, earlier in my life, I was terrified of failing. I never tried new things.
Oh, I really like how you use the word terrified there.
Thanks. The sources actually talk a lot about using emotional words like that.
That's a great point. Saying I was terrified sounds so much more natural than just saying I was scared.
It really connects you to the listener.
Yeah.
So after the background, we move to step 3, the turning point.
The turning point. That sounds like the exciting part of the story.
It is. It's the big moments. Everything changes. For example, you say, then one day I failed a really important test and I felt devastated.
Oh, wow. Devastated is a really strong emotional word, too.
Yeah, the sources say using words like proud, grateful, or disappointed makes a huge difference in how people listen to you.
It really brings the whole story to life. So what is step 4?
Step 4 is the lesson learned. You explain how that turning point actually changed you.
So you would say something like, but after I failed, I realized I learned more from that mistake than from my easy successes.
Exactly. You're showing your personal growth. And then we have the final step, step 5, the advice.
How do you do that part?
You just bring the story back to today. You say, so now I always try new things because mistakes help you grow.
That is such a clear structure. Let me see if I have it right. Introduction, background, turning point, lesson, and advice.
You got it. It is like a map for your conversation.
I love that. When you have a map, you don't feel lost when you are speaking.
And it helps you listen better, too.
Oh, really? How does knowing the map help with listening?
Well, the sources say native speakers talk really, really fast.
Oh, they definitely do. They smash words together all the time.
Right. Like instead of saying, I have learned that failure is important. They just blur it and say, I've learned failure is important.
That fast speech can be so confusing for beginners.
It really is. But if you know the five-step map, you don't have to understand every single word they say.
I understand, because you already know what part of the story they're in.
Exactly. If you miss a word during the background story, you just wait for the turning point. You ride the wave of the story.
That takes so much pressure off the listener.
It really does. The sources also suggest a great practice method called shadowing.
Shadowing. What is that?
It is when you listen to native English audio and you repeat the words right after them out loud.
Oh, like an echo.
Yeah, exactly like an echo. It physically trains your mouth muscles to make the right English sounds.
That makes total sense. You're physically practicing the language, not just, thinking about it in your head.
Right. And you can start really slowly. Just listen, pause the audio, and repeat.
Using those emotional words we talked about earlier is so important for shadowing, too.
Oh, absolutely. When you repeat the words out loud, you should try to really feel the emotion.
Like, if the person in the story is happy, you should sound happy.
Yeah. If you say, I was so proud, you should literally smile when you say it.
It makes the practice feel much more like a real human conversation.
And that is the whole goal of this deep dive. To help you sound like a real person, not a textbook.
I think sometimes we forget that language is just a tool to connect with people.
That is exactly what the sources say. When you share a real-life lesson, you are connecting on a deep human level.
It is not about having perfect grammar. It is about sharing your human experience.
Right. Nobody is going to care if you use the wrong verb tense if your story is really interesting.
That's so true. People care about the feelings and the lesson, not the exact grammar rules.
Exactly. And another cool thing the sources mentioned is how universal these lessons are.
What do you mean by universal?
Well, it doesn't matter where you live. Everyone understands failure, or the value of time, or the importance of patience.
Oh, yeah. Those are things every single human being goes through.
So when you practice these specific stories, you are building tools you can use with anyone in the world.
That is a really motivating thought. You are not just studying, you are preparing to connect with the whole world.
Exactly. And the sources suggest practicing this by yourself first.
Like talking to a mirror.
Yeah, or just recording a voice note on your phone.
Just using the prompt, one of my biggest life lessons is.
Right. And then you just guide yourself through the 5 steps out loud.
I bet that feels a little weird at first.
Oh, it definitely feels silly to talk to yourself. But it works.
Because you have no pressure from another person listening to you.
Exactly. You can make all the mistakes you want in your own living room.
And then, when you finally step outside into that loud cafe,
You are ready. You have the map. You have the emotional vocabulary. And you have the practice.
this is such a powerful way to change how we study.
It really changes everything. You stop worrying about memorizing lists and start focusing on your own life.
And everyone has a unique life lesson to share.
Exactly. Your stories are already inside you. You just need to translate them into English.
This has been such an inspiring deep dive so far.
I am so glad you think so. But, even with all this preparation, things can still go wrong in the real world.
Oh, that is very true. Real life is never perfect.
Right. So let's talk about a realistic problem you might face out there. Let's imagine a real-life situation, a problem scenario.
Okay, I'm ready. What is the problem?
You are talking with a native speaker. You are doing great following the 5 steps.
Sounds good so far.
But then the native speaker gets really excited. They start talking incredibly fast, and they use a word you have never heard before in your life.
Oh, no. That happens sometimes. That's when the panic usually starts.
Exactly. Your heart beats faster. You feel like you are failing. You just freeze completely.
So how do we fix it? What should we do in that awkward situation?
First, the sources say you must stay calm. Don't worry. Just take a deep breath.
Okay, deep breath. Panic is the enemy.
Right. Second, do not pull out your phone to use a dictionary. Just try to guess the meaning from the story.
Because you know the context. If they are talking about a big mistake, the unknown word is probably something negative.
Exactly. Good choice. Just guess. And if you still don't understand, it is completely okay to politely ask them to repeat.
You can just say, I'm sorry, could you say that a little slower?
Yes. Or you can simply say, what does that word mean? Native speakers are usually very happy to explain.
That is so encouraging. It's okay to ask for help. It keeps the conversation going naturally.
All right, let's do a quick review to make sure we remember everything today.
That sounds great. Repetition is always helpful.
So, what is the secret to sounding natural and confident?
It is talking about your life lessons using the five-part structure.
Exactly. Let's repeat those 5 steps clearly and slowly. Step 1, the introduction.
Step 2, the background story, setting the scene.
Step 3, the turning point, the big moment of change.
Step 4, the lesson learned, how you grew from it.
And finally, step 5, the advice, bringing it back to today.
And remember to use strong emotional words like proud or devastated to make your story interesting.
Perfect review. No complicated grammar rules needed, just practical speaking steps.
It really is that simple.
Well, before we go, we just want to say thank you to our amazing listeners.
Yes, thank you so much for spending your morning in the garden with us. We truly appreciate your support.
Now, we have a fun question for you. Tell us in the comments, what is one big life lesson you have learned?
We love reading your messages and hearing your stories.
And don't forget to subscribe for more easy and fun English lessons.
Give this video a like if it helped you feel more confident today.
And please share with someone who wants to improve their English listening and speaking.
Until next time, keep practicing those 5 steps out loud and enjoy your morning.
Bye for now. Keep learning and keep growing.
Goodbye, everyone.